Hello, Earthlandians, people of the heart, and welcome to the Advancement Center and to the world of magic and miracles. I greet you with a smile, and I come to you from my ship in the outer reaches of the universe. The transmission of the Earthlandians, that message is real because it's coming from the future. And I'm there, and I can see it and feel it. Everything is changing. It's an honor to be here, to speak to you, to feel you, and to transmit a vibration and a feeling that's beyond this single physical reality. Most times I'm aware that I don't have to speak, but so much comes to me to deliver on the words that carry so much more. I am a tennis teacher, and I share some of these insights with my students, but they relate to every part of life. You look up and you're in a different place. You can't tell how different because you're looking at yourself and you can't see every side. But the people around you may begin to say, "You've gotten much better. You've changed. Your forehand and your serve are so much better." But mostly your awareness and IQ for the game has gotten better. You're making it look like the game is in slow motion. While everyone looks like they're rushing, you seem to create a moment of pause before every shot that makes it look like you're so far ahead of everyone else, like you're taking a sip of coffee before you hit your shot. And it looks like you have supreme confidence in your ability. This is a result of many factors, but mostly it is the result of a journey that one sets him or herself on, a journey to grow and change and reach a destination that they have set for themselves to reach, sometimes consciously and most times unconsciously. The beauty of it is that this skill and destination was always inside of you. Like Michelangelo, what was not needed has been getting chipped away until the real you could be revealed. What prompted you to go this far for this long? Only you know the answer to that question. Maybe the path of tennis or spirit or anything else that was calling you from inside felt life-saving. It was so strong that you thought you might not be able to go on if you didn't follow that signal. But now that energy is gone because it never was true. But it was a catalyst to get you somewhere that you needed to get to. You are no longer the same person. And yet, at the same time, you are exactly the same. The you hidden inside all the marble was always there, and you could always feel that you. It is the same you, but because it had to be broken free from the marble slab, it seems and feels new, and therefore it is. It is the awareness from this true you that is almost too much to bear. Just imagine, hidden inside that marble, your awareness of the world and your way of being was one way. And then when that new you is brought forward from inside the marble, you see the world and the way of being in a completely different way. 180 degrees difference, the complete opposite of what you were living before, that one moment of revealing and the new awareness that it brought. And yet everyone else around you seems to be the same, but you are not, and you may feel all alone for a while. And then you see that everyone is on their own timeline for the same event or something similar, and that you are truly never alone. You enjoy everyone where they are, without judgment or hierarchy, and you move through your life with great ease and grace, feeling like that pause on the tennis court is in every moment of your life, feeling like you're so far ahead of what's going to happen next because you're living from the future. So things will continue to change. And if I ask the question, what's next? You'll say, I don't know. But the truth is, you do know exactly what's next because you're living from the future. But you may not want to say it, or you may not be able to articulate it. We and our reality are changing right before our very eyes, and it is a marvel to feel and behold. The death of the power of religion and the birth of the power of you. Religion is fading, and knowing yourself as creator is taking its place. Some may call this a trend, but it is the rise of the remembrance of who you really are. It is a subtle shift, but it is groundbreaking and world-changing. Everyone is so filled with the spark of the creator, and the outer dependency is falling away as surely as the light of the sun replaces the dark. The false authority is being seen, and the control and manipulation is losing its grip as more and more people say, no, this is not from the source of it all. This is not the way of the creator of all life. Rules, laws, and threats are not the tools of a loving energy, the one who loves you without conditions. You've always thought these things, but you thought you had to follow the crowd to be saved, to go to heaven. You thought that you must listen and obey an intermediary between you and your creator. But now the tide has swung and the crowd is beginning to say, I and my creator, I and my father, I and my mother are one, because I can feel her or his spark within me, and I am coming out of the shadows of the illusion that I have believed. Think about those moments when you encounter certain truths and something in you immediately recognizes them as authentic, even if you've never heard them before. Or when you experience profound beauty, not just aesthetic beauty, but that moment when beauty becomes a doorway and you glimpse something infinite. These are not learned responses. They are moments when you are outside of the rules, laws, and systems that tell you that you and your creator are not one. But you have just seen the light. You have just felt infinity. You have just heard the sound and felt the vibration of the divine eternal communication that is the source of it all. There are beings who have had the ability to control this physical reality. These beings have mistaken themselves for gods because they cannot perceive anything beyond the boundaries of their own system. They genuinely believe that they have created consciousness because they can manipulate its expression within this domain. But consciousness itself exists prior to and independent of their entire reality construct. Recognizing your origin in source consciousness gives you an unshakable foundation from which to engage reality authentically without being controlled by it. The characteristics of being aware of and knowing yourself as this source consciousness are: you know without learning, you love without attachment, you create without effort, and you exist without depending on anything external for that existence. These aren't superhuman abilities that you discover through a learned practice or method. They are the natural state of consciousness when it is not filtered through the limitation programs of the physical world. You're not trying to become something other than what you are. You're not attempting to earn worthiness or achieve validation as a spiritual enlightened being. You're simply remembering the infinite awareness that has always been your true nature, the consciousness that existed before this reality construct began and will continue after it ends. This recognition becomes the foundation for everything you need to return back to the source while still functioning within this physical reality. True service to others comes from your own self-liberation. The greatest service that you can provide is your own awakening. When you break free from the control systems and programs, you become a living example of what's possible. This inspires others far more effectively than words or efforts to change them directly. The people who are ready to awaken will be drawn to your frequency naturally. You won't have to convince them or save them. They may ask questions because they can sense something different about you. And those who aren't ready will either ignore you or actively resist you. And that's perfectly fine. For each person is on their own path, and that path is sovereign, and it is to be honored above all desires for another or our righteous presumptions of what they need. There are many who are now coming to the place of a great change within them, and they will seek you out for explanations for what they are experiencing. The energy that is here now and that has been coming has been preparing each one for their role in the great change that is upon us. For those that are able, it is assisting without convincing, compassion without judgment, and love without conditions. We all have needed that from those that have been in that role before us. We have all ignored or resisted what has been being offered because we weren't ready, because it wasn't time, because we needed to go through more challenges before we could receive the hand that was held out to point us to our true self, to help us turn inward and see and feel that spark of the Creator within, that light of the source that was always there, and that connection with that one energy that has always existed, for we have never been born and we can never die. It's the turning inward and looking back at yourself that signals the completion of a phase of your experiences in the physical world that you chose to learn and grow through. This awareness naturally removes the resistance to your desiring and receiving something new. But without this shift, patience and compassion are the only assistance we need to offer, which all fall under the umbrella of loving without conditions. As Yeshua once said, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Know that we have been the ones who have planted the seeds in the soil, which is humanity, and now it is bearing fruit. Be consciously aware of those around you and the effect you may be having as they awaken from living beneath the soil and come into the bright light of their own being. Encourage if you are here to encourage. Heal if you are here to heal. Hold space if you are here to hold space. And provide wisdom if you are here to provide wisdom. But mostly maintain your vibration and continue to be a beacon for those that are ready, so that they may see in you what is in them too. If you were to get rid of everyone on earth that you disagree with, you would be the only one left on the planet. Not that disagreement is wrong, but you forget that they are disagreeing with you too. It is a mutual disagreement society. Individual fragments of the one creator living as that creator in their own physical world. There are, of course, fundamental things that cannot be tolerated or accepted, like the mistreatment of others, violence upon others, and the removal of another's inalienable rights, their sovereign free rights of thoughts and speech within a standard of kindness and love towards all. You say you want to build more parks for nature. They say they want to build more buildings for job creation. Who's right and who's wrong? So you simply disagree. You think they're wrong and they think you're wrong, and the dance continues. A distraction from us discovering our true nature that's far beyond who's right and who's wrong. Don't get me wrong, there are tons of dickheads, assholes, and idiots out there. I was one of them. And I'm sure if you look back at your life, you were too. Come to think of it, as far as some people are concerned, I probably still am. What if God was one of us, just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on a bus trying to make his way home? Therefore, compassion reigns, and love without conditions is the trademark of the people of the heart, the nature of your creator. Patience, patience, patience. We all require that from our parents. And it is through that patience that we discover humility. And through that humility, we discover a love that surpasses even the love of our parents. And now we are ready. Now we see, and now we know that I am in you and you are in me. And whatever I do to the least of these, I do to myself. You are having an experience in the physical world, but in truth, you are the experience. You are simply consciousness, and you are experiencing yourself as a human being in human form. It is our consciousness that is evolving. Everyone talks about the AI learning, but it is the consciousness within us that is learning, growing, and evolving our species to another level of awareness, knowing, and vibration, taking us further into our multidimensional nature. Each day, our awareness and consciousness expand exponentially, depending on our individual desire to remember and know, which comes from a recognition that we are more than we can see with these physical eyes. These awarenesses just come to us, answering questions that we consciously or unconsciously ask through simple observations, taking us so far beyond what we could comprehend and so far beyond what we thought this life and each one of us is. We are the Earthlandians, the people of the heart, and there are none like us. The power that we wield through the heart has never been seen before, but it is compassion that we will be known for. Sometimes I'm right, and I can be wrong. What I know is in my song. The butcher, a banker, the drummer, and then makes no difference what group I'm in. I am everyone, people. There is a blue one who can't accept the green one for living with a fat one, trying to be a skinny one. Different strokes for different folks, and so on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. We've got to live together. I am no better, and neither are you. We are the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then you can't figure out the man I am. I am everyone, people. Yeah, yeah. There is a long hair that doesn't like the short hair for being such a rich one that will not help the poor one. Different strokes for different folks, and so on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. We've got to live together. There is a yellow one that won't accept the black one, that won't accept the red one, that won't accept the white one. Different strokes for different folks. I am everyone, people. Yeah, yeah. We are everyone, people. Cheers to you all, beautiful people of Earth. Love, magic, and laughter, but mostly laughter. I leave you with a smile. Thank you for listening. I am everyone, and I am David.